not. I'm not connected.
Come on. Yeah. The fabulous 8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m. Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Hey, everybody. This is J7. I'm filling in for Ren, who's not here today. Welcome to the 8-Bit Bros. It's Wednesday. This is not a kid-friendly show, so put your kids in the closet.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, 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 I'm ready. It's time.
Okay, bros. Wednesday. Still weird to say that whole Wednesday bit. Hey, Bit Bros. Wednesday, middle of the week. Center box gets a square. We got a new center box tonight. Center box gets a square. J7 in the center tonight. Me over here, I think. To the right. I don't left. Me over there. No, over there. That way. Totally that way. 647 million miles north, south of the eastern seaboard. One and only Thumping Loud.
What a...
I can't say, gentlemen, how are you? People, how are you? No? Okay. Well,
Humans, how are you? I was muted. Gosh darn it.
yeah, I know. It's tough. It's tough when you got to do all that shit. I do it all the time. It's like, all right, mute this channel. I'm going to bring this channel in. You got to deal with all the bullshit. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
Totally not.
Feel
And
you.
then Thump's over there with all his video buttons. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to transition this. I'm going to do that. And let me put some text over here. Fucking, let me going to build another screen over here. So when we do this, it'll be like, we'll all switch around.
That's how it sounds, too. It sounds like...
Yep. That's exactly what goes on. That's
Two
exactly.
things I
Oh,
wanna
hold on.
mention.
Before we get started, I just want to go ahead and say a nice big old web. Fuck you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's because I just got an email.
Yeah.
And it's a Yahoo Sportsbook email.
Okay.
But between DraftKings and Yahoo, both sending me emails about Sportsbook, which I cannot get in my area.
Not yet. They're working on it.
Yeah.
You're next
yeah,
on
but
the list.
because of you going, you should check this out. I did. I can't play with it, but they won't leave me alone about it.
How far are you from, like, a bordering state?
I'm
How many
smack dab
miles?
in the middle of my state, man.
Okay, you're fucked. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm 3 hours from the coast, 3 hours from the mountains, an hour from the northern border, hour from the southern border.
Because I will
Plus
tell you
minus
this.
a little bit either way.
I will tell you this, and I've personally done this, okay? I try and spend Sundays with the family, always. Football season's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And with what was going on with my father over the last year or so, I didn't go there for, like, first week of football. And then my mother says to me one day, she goes, you know, your father said to me today, tomorrow's Sunday. I guess the kids won't be here. And I was like, okay, fuck. I gotta figure this out. So I try and get all my bets in and go over the bridge. Because once you go over the bridge, I'm in New York. Can't bet.
Right.
But I have fucking said, like at halftime at the 1 o'clock games, I'll be right back. Boom, over the bridge.
Eh.
Pull over, place bets, go up, around, back over the fucking bridge. I've done it. I've done it numerous times.
For what? I don't get it.
To
Betting.
get bets in.
Get bets in.
Because you can't bet in New
Oh.
York, but you can in Jersey.
Yeah, you can't digitally bet in New York, but you can in Jersey.
How do they know if you're doing it? I guess because
GPS,
your IP address.
GPS on it. You have to have
Well,
your
no,
GPS on, and they have
Mm.
yeah, you have
don't-
to have your
Oh, yeah,
location on in order.
yes,
For,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
that's how they regulate it. That is
Right.
the concrete regulation. You have to have your tracker on so they know where you're at, so that your bets do qualify.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it is gambling,
Okay.
so it is tightly regulated. That is something they got heavily involved in, like, after the mafia built new, like, Vegas.
Oh, dude. I don't know. I kind of wish that I had been around for like, well, I don't know.
Some of the
I guess
gangsta
maybe
times,
not. Yeah, some of the really gangster stuff where it was like so brazen.
like the
you know, where it was-
1920s, 1930s, like shit was popping off in
Yeah.
Chicago and New York, and Vegas was being
Yes.
created. And
Where the fuck is Jimmy Hoffa?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wish I don't know that I wanted to be near it, but I definitely like would have loved to have been around to
Oh, people
just-
people thought it was riveting. Like it's well documented that, like, the reason we know about all these people is because the stories were just amazing
yeah.
because
I-
media was created to get to so many people. These stories were outrageous.
They were.
And these guys were running in and out of the heartland of America too. They weren't just
Oh,
like in New York and Chicago.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were running from Chicago. They'd go to like hide out in Idaho.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were like folk
They could
heroes that
travel,
were
yeah.
right there at people's doorsteps all the time. They'd hear these stories on the radio and they'd see these stories in the newspaper, and then they'd see these people in their town and they'd be like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah.
It's weird. In the 80s to 90s, I lived in the towns and areas where everything was taking place with the mafia.
Oh yeah, during
Yeah, I mean, like the guy 2 houses up from my parents' house was drive-by shooting. Shot him out of his fucking house in the middle of the night.
Damn.
Yeah. So growing up where I grew up in the late 80s, well, 80s to 90s period, it was a lot of mafia action.
yeah,
Lot.
there was another hinge pin of things going
I remember
on.
that.
It
Yeah,
was
they
a
all-
lot. It was a
cities.
lot quieter. Like,
Right.
unless you were there.
I mean, Gotti lived fucking 3 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Castellanos were 6 minutes from the house.
But that's like,
The whole
unless you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the like the big headline stuff when you talk about guys like Gotti, but to experience that time period was definitely to like be there, and they weren't the national story like they were in the 30s.
Well,
Like gangsters were in
no,
the 30s.
not at all. No, that was totally
Yeah, it was a really different
Tommy
way of
was-
like tightening the rope on them. Like, they had national things going on, but they weren't national stories. They tried to very centrally crack down on them so they could. That's how they eliminated like all the big dons at the time.
true.
Was
True.
they were able to make them very small.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Split
like,
it
nope,
up, break it
you
down."
were in charge of this empire, but really, you're the guy giving orders to these people, and that's all we really care about. You're the guy that's,
You're
yeah,
the
and that's
dump-
RICO acts and shit like that. like-
Yes, I was about to say Rico Acts. Like, so there's a couple. There's Netflix has that. There's a documentary series called God, what is it called? I can't remember right now. But it's basically about how at one point in New York specifically, like organized crime was just like whatever. They would catch this one guy and he would go away, he'd do his time, he'd go away for a couple of years and then he'd be out and that was it. Meanwhile, there were a bunch of other people doing the same thing. But then when RICO Acts became a thing, they were really it's what broke the back of organized crime. Like in New York. Like, it kind of stopped them being as brazen as they were. I'm like, that's amazing. I wish I I had been there to see that somehow. You know,
I mean,
like
There
it,
was some crazy shit that went on through I mean, the entire history of any mafia, whether even be Russian.
oh yeah,
With
when you look at
the
any of the
Irish.
organized crime syndicates, like it's outstanding some of the stories that come out of them. I mean, you look at Escobar and what they did with that regime, and like he's still
mhm.
looked at as a hero by a lot of people because of just like how much he really actually did for the area. It was up until he got like extremely violent in his own town that they was like, oh wait, no,
Look, the movie Goodfellas, although exaggerated, is a pretty good recreation of exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Um,
And also Casino.
Casino too. I mean, Goodfellas for sure because the story's true. I mean,
yeah, but
Yeah.
I know
I like the
people
straight up
who.
documentary stuff, like the guy who left the mob and told all the stories and
Oh yeah,
everything else.
yeah, and
That
with
guy that's on
his
TV all the
kid,
time.
yeah,
And then
Tony.
what's his name? Bulgy for like Whitey for doing
Whitey, yeah.
yeah Whitey for doing
Totally.
his shit for the way he pulled off his to be one of the most violent individuals to pull it off the way he did was kind of outrageous. When you look at Whitey Bulger, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, Sammy the Bull and all his stories coming out to light. I mean, it's just it was a wild fucking time.
Yeah.
I really love I feel like part of the reason why we have these like very colorful stories is because several of those people walked away and were able to then tell their stories, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. I mean, look, the story of Goodfellas. I mean, the
Bulger
Italian
was
mafia.
doing it while telling his story.
Yeah, he was doing it. The
He
Italian
was
mafia was not a
crazy,
drug
dude.
organization. They did not want to be involved in drugs, and the movie Goodfellas is pretty much all about that: the involvement of the drugs
Yeah.
and what it does to the La Familia.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
And it's a great fucking story. It's a great fucking
A lot
story.
of respect was lost with a lot of people because of like contaminating their own society.
The unfortunate. Well, I don't want to say the unfortunate part because Goodfellas is a fucking Academy Award winning movie, but um, the over dramatization in the movie, the expression of the storyline takes away from the true story.
You think so?
Yeah, it does. Oh, it does in that respect. If you're looking at the history of the mafia, this is a perfect story that explains why they never wanted to be involved in the drugs. They were fine dealing with and stealing the construction industry, the garbage industry, the garment industry, you know, the fashion industry in New York City. It was all mafia fucking owned and run. They were making bazillions and bazillions of dollars there. They didn't need to deal with drugs, which only attracts the attention of the
Mhm.
feds.
You could argue that's still true
Yeah,
for
it's certainly
some
still true.
for some industries.
That's why the
Yeah.
Mexicans became huge. The Mexican cartel is the hugest drug pushing industry there is, bigger than China, because China just does it legally.
Pharmaceuticals.
Exactly, fentanyl.
Fentanyl. Oh my
Case in
god,
fact,
yes.
yeah. And how they tried to kill everybody in the world who was on heart medication when they changed the fucking and just changed the formula and sent it over here.
That's insane.
I mean, all that shit was recalled. Look it up. I mean, it was killing fucking people.
Uh wait, like actual like heart medication?
Yeah, your heart medication, your water pills and all that shit. Yeah, well, they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna change this recipe and send it. It's good. It's okay. You'll be fine. It was killing people. It was
Oh my
recall.
god.
It was a national recall. It was a global recall. It wasn't even that
Oh.
global.
Mhm.
Fuck you, China. Everybody send it back.
It was from China?
Of course. All
Mm,
drugs come
I
from China.
not all of them.
90% of the ones you take in this country, anything over the counter or excuse me, anything generic is all coming from China.
Do they manufacture it in China and then ship
Yes.
it here? Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. It's cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Chinese have got their the value of their dollar so low, labor's fucking cheap as shit.
Yeah, I mean,
World
Yes.
economic and politics. There's two things I wanted to open with tonight. I don't know how we got here, but it was definitely a good conversation. A, sorry for everyone missing 420. We always did a 420.
Sports book.
You do realize that.
That
I
was-
always did.
That was how you
Four-
got there. Because I
Sports
said
book?
FU sports book.
Right, yeah. That's
That's
true.
how we got there. True.
Yeah.
Trace the source of this combo.
Happy 420 to anybody out there who partakes, celebrates legally or however, whatever.
Or otherwise, hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed your holiday. Sorry
If
for
we-
not doing a 420 show.
Yeah, so this, I guess one of the drawbacks of doing a Wednesday show is we no longer had a Tuesday show to commemorate 420.
Right, and sometimes it was funny because I looked back and I was like, wait a second, we did a 420 show on Tuesday last year. Oh, we did a 420 show on a Thursday the year before that. And oh, wait, it was leap year. So we did a fucking 420 show on a Tuesday the year before that. I'm like, wow, that's fucking weird. And then we
Yeah.
had, could have had another one this year. I was like, wow, that's fucking really weird.
That is weird.
Now I'm busting out a calendar, go back a digital calendar. I gotta go back in years and look at this and see what the hell was going on. But wanted to say happy 420 to anybody and who everybody was fucking. If you got your shot, you got free weed from a lot of places. That was cool. Get vaccinated if you want. We'll leave it at that. I also did want to make a comment on the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, whatever the fuck his name is.
Dude, every time I've seen
Trial.
his name in the paper, I say the paper like that's a thing.
Like, oh, you actually get a printed paper delivered to your house? Are you the one person?
Yeah, right.
they're
I'm
printing
keeping
it
them
for
alive.
you.
I'm
My
keeping
father,
them
who's
alive.
right there with you, man. He still reads the New
Keeping
York
them alive.
Post in the Daily News.
This thing
And
is my paper, so my phone. So I'm
But
one of the news stories. But yeah, his name's always had me fucked up.
I did want to say I'm happy with the outcome of the trial.
Yeah.
I hope that if you follow me on Facebook, I hope some of the articles I've reposted, I hope that shit doesn't happen. But what I really hope the most out of all of this is that it starts some sort of change that needs to happen. And I know Minnesota's doing it because they're already a full investigation into their own police department. But there needs to be
Yep.
some sort of reform. And I don't think the entire, and I said this before and I'll stand behind it, I don't think the original defund the police is the right way to go.
No, I think the terminology shouldn't be used. I think it's misleading.
Yeah,
Yep,
there's
I
certain
agree.
things I don't agree with in the whole idea of, oh, let's bring social workers in. And there's just certain situations where you
No,
don't-
I think
you
that
want a negotiator in certain situations. You don't want to negotiate. That's just another person getting shot. Period.
yeah, I think that they should
Move.
the whole ethos of the movement isn't it. I don't know why they started calling it defund the police
Well,
because
because it
that's-
should be an area where we focus funding
Oh,
so that
we-
we
we-
could
Right,
get better
it should
training,
be
so
an
that
area-
we could
exactly.
do real reform
We-
What
instead of
if-
pulling
Talk
money
about
away from it
clear
like we've done with
guidelines in
other,
our next segment.
several other social programs.
yeah, I would even suggest something along the lines of you could do a couple of things. I have ideas. I can't believe other people haven't thought of this stuff. Like you could embed social workers into police departments
Right.
so that when they get called for a situation where somebody is like mentally ill or this or just having a bad fucking
The
day,
important part
you
is
know?
they need to have the finances to be able to pay for that, because that's going to be the argument that the police department makes, is the fact that they don't have the funding to do that. What we need to do is demilitarize our police officers and put funding into social programs and
Yeah,
training
precisely.
regimens
They
to help
don't
our
need
safety
assault
officers
weapons.
be safety officers. And that's
Yeah.
what we need, not an organized military unit wing of the government to
Right.
control
Agreed.
people. So
Yeah, like they don't need assault weapons.
well, I mean, hey, I'm not.
Oh, no,
They-
I'm not here to. I'm not
need
here to
this.
argue that point, because if assault weapons exist in the world, everybody needs them.
That's right. Yeah, I stand behind the whole.
I'm Second Amendment
Go
the
on.
whole way on this one. I believe that if the military can gain access to it,
That's
and the
right.
public citizen should be able to have access to it, because the
don't agree with
Constitution,
that at
the
all.
Constitution says.
Seven?
The
Have you
Constitution
ever
says
had-
that if our military was ever to be used against us, that we have the right to stand against it.
Have
And
you
that's it.
ever
Plain and
had
simple.
a FBI agent stare you straight in the face with an M16 pointed at you?
No.
Have you ever had a gun held at you?
No.
My house was raided by the FBI when I was
Why?
a kid, 16 years old, because somebody got out of jail and their last name was very close to mine. It was a mistake. They lied through it all and said, well, they got a tip from an anonymous phone caller. They were just raiding houses because I lived in a very populated mafia area.
Okay, but
Back to
let me
that
ask you a
conversation.
question. Would having an assault weapon have helped in that situation or would have made things worse?
I answered the door with an aluminum baseball bat. I was faced with 20 shotguns and
Yeah,
four
it's way
M16s.
overkill. Like that's what I'm saying about as far as the militarization of like our police force. Like that's just a
Yeah.
police force, whether it's the FBI, the CIA, like ATF, whatever police force that is. We've seen them drive tanks into people's property. We've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah,
it.
that's insane.
Okay,
That's crazy. There's
but
no reason
that's
why
there's no
police
reason why
should
that
have
should
that
exist
kind
in the
of
world,
firepower.
right? But it does, and they've proven that they can use it against the people.
Yeah.
So the people should be entitled to have the exact same access to the exact same inventory.
I don't agree.
I
I
understand.
don't think escalation is the solution. I think that if we're saying that these tools are the source of the issue, then there should be a correct context for using those things. Like, this is not a
Okay,
war
well,
zone.
right now you've got what you've got to do is get the military-industrial complex to reverse course on weapon manufacturing.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
that
And
that's
that's
a,
it. That is the bottom line. Like the only way you're going to get less weaponry in the world is to get people to stop creating more weaponry, and that's not going to happen.
Mhm.
No, because we have a defense program. So it's never
But
going to.
I think there's a distinct difference from what the military does in combat situations versus what the police does in a domestic environment.
Yeah, but they're currently just in preparation of whether or not citizens were going to be upset about a conversation that was held in a jury and courtroom. They put the military in a city to control the population.
Yeah, that's true.
It happened. And in advancement.
National Guard was in Minneapolis before the. That's
Mhm.
why they needed the extra 2 hours.
Florida just changed their legislation about First Amendment assembly to challenge that about how they
Yeah.
can about how they can address a gathering population.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there needs to be some safety protocols for on all sides. Period. We all
Yeah, I mean, I
Safe.
think,
sides.
I mean, given the things that have happened in the past couple of, like the January 6th situation, right? Like,
Go from there to where we are now. I mean,
yeah.
January
there's
6th
been a
was
lot of
tough
wild
because-
shit that's happened here in the first couple months of 2021.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how much to believe anymore after everything that's starting to fucking come out.
Well, I'm a little insulted by it, to be honest with
By
you.
what?
The start of 2021.
Yeah.
It's insulting
I-
to
it's-
look at the situation that is being kind of pawned off on like us. Just
It's a lot of fear mongering. I'm
everything
gonna be
is
first to
everything
say
is
it.
wild.
Sorry. A lot of
Like,
fear
Like-
going on.
Like, what?
Well,
What is being...
we're being openly threatened by other world powers
Yeah,
that we need to take a seat.
yeah.
Like
Or
China's
we took-
told us, North Korea's told us, Russia's told us. Like everybody's got an opinion that we need to shut the fuck up, and we need to
Yeah.
sit the fuck back, and we need to let them do what they go do. And that's about to be a very uncomfortable situation, and it's insulting. It's insulting as a citizen of this country to see
Sure.
how
nation.
brash and that's being put out there.
Yeah, so what about, did you read, so I need a little context on, because the last I read, South Korea is imploring us to talk to North Korea,
Yeah, that's
which
just
is
every-
like the opposite of taking a seat. It's
Yeah,
like, actually, can you, hey buddy, can
it's
you
every
come
4
out here and talk to this bully for me?
Yeah, well, because that's why they're imploring us over there. We still do our military activities that we do with them
Yeah.
and everything else, but we're now being warned more effectively that, you know, the tensions in that area are going to escalate if we
Yeah.
keep coming around.
Keep testing fucking missiles, showing
I
you.
mean,
Well,
China's got the back of North Korea. North Korea doesn't give a fuck. You
yeah,
know,
no. Yeah, why should they? They got the million-man army behind them.
well, okay. So, do you think we should be involved, or do you think
what do you mean
we
should be involved? What in the North Korea
like,
South Korea thing? I
yeah,
mean, do we believe that South Korea has a right to exist as it currently is?
North Korea,
No, South Korea.
South
Do we
Korea.
South
believe South
Korea?
Korea should exist the way it does currently? Do we believe that they should be allowed to do that? I mean, we also are faced with the same situation with like Taiwan and Hong Kong. So, like, these are situations where these are independent places that want to be independent places, but are being told that that's not going to happen, and
Oh,
they
come
are
on,
pleading for
China's just-
they're pleading for help.
China's
Yeah.
That's not
We're
us.
rights
That's
away
not
from-
us. Like just putting ourselves in that situation. It's they're asking for help. Do we believe that they need it?
Yeah, I think that we may get now that we're withdrawing from Afghanistan. I think
Sorry.
that
Sorry,
part of
me and Thump had a friend that we physically watched on TV be the last one to leave 9.5 years ago. Bomino.
Yep.
okay, well, obviously that wasn't the case. Like, what?
And he's
when
a
did
hella
that
good.
happen?
He's a hella good police officer.
Okay, so now that we're officially withdrawing, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Um,
So this is what we're saying. By August, is it? Is it August
No,
or
no,
September?
no.
No, September.
Yeah.
Anniversary, 20
that's right,
year
September.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, September.
All right. So that's going to be the final withdrawal from
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
Final.
Well,
The final-
from Afghanistan.
Final.
yeah.
Final.
So
Final.
we're either going to be
Right back in there.
right back in there at some point because there's going to be a, the things that the things that everyone's been talking about, like there's going to be a power vacuum
Did
and
anybody
the
watch-
Taliban.
Did anybody
It's
watch the
going
Rumsfeld
to-
documentary?
No.
20
Um,
years on the edge.
No.
Yeah, that's bananas. I mean, it has been a 20-year war. I can't believe we didn't withdraw it like sooner.
We could.
Okay, well, since we're in this conversation, and like I said in the document that we've got, is like I'm just watching a bunch of random documentary shit. Like that's why I don't name it, because it's just a bunch of random shit, and it's about all different types of shit. Like some of it's science shit, some of it's politics, some of it's military, some of it's
James one right now.
people, like artists and shit. Like I'm just watching random
Yeah.
ass fucking documentary shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of them was the Rumsfeld shit, and it's an interview with him where he talks about his entire political career, and then they set on that hinge pin of like Iraq forward.
Iraq?
Well,
So like
the
81.
the 90s?
No, 81.
he's got an extensive career in politics, and it's a weird situation where there was a point where he was almost president.
Wow.
Like he was about to be VP, and they put Herbert Walker instead, and that's what led, they say, up the chain for shit to go the way it did. But yeah, he was involved in a lot of things that took place during the Ford administration on forward. Very like when Nixon, he was with Nixon, and then with
Yeah.
Ford, and then like he's been involved in all of these presidencies, like
Mhm.
as a close advisor in a lot of shit until he got appointed to a different position. And it was weird. Him and Cheney were buddies, where he brought Cheney along, and then Cheney got the VP nod later on. Like his political story was wild, but yeah, they say he had a focused effort on Iraq and Saddam about changing that regime, about how it was necessary.
Mhm.
And that's what really they say that why Afghanistan kind of was a leapfrog moment, and what led to Iraq happening in the middle of the Afghan thing, and that his influences were involved in all this stuff that was going on, and that there's a lot of video clip. He took, they said, millions and millions of notes.
Wow.
Rumsfeld, and it's all public because it was all government information. So all of these millions and millions of notes, they were like, "Do you know how many you got?" And he's like, "Oh, they tell me it's something like this many million." And he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "I always had my dictaphone." He was like, "Every time I like be wanting to do or say or something, wanted to engage a conversation this way." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I took all notes all the time." He was like, "It's what I did." He's like, "I believed that it was important so that I could make sure that I conveyed my message to the proper people in the proper fashion."
Okay, that's cool. I gotta look up Rumsfeld and read a little bit more about him. I don't know that much. So it's a
Yeah,
where's the
watch the
documentary?
documentary.
Donald
20 hours or 20 years on the edge, I think is what it is.
Wow. Okay.
Donald Rumsfeld,
Um.
decent.
It was
political-
wild. Like his political story is insane. Like you
Yeah.
also, and it gives you a light into what DC is too. Like his story alone, you kind of go, "Oh, okay, I
Yeah, he
get it."
replaced Alexander Haig.
Yeah.
When Ford became president, he threw out almost immediately Alexander Haig, who was the chief of staff, and Rumsfeld was put right in.
Not as chief
And-
of staff.
No,
They
as
annihilated the position for a while. Ford was going to not have a chief of staff.
Yeah,
And they
but
created these two other departments.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dep-
Like,
deputy chief of staff.
interesting story about going from Nixon and Nixon's chief of staff to Ford and his not going to have one.
And the funny part is that's also the exact same time of Dick Cheney's rise or claim to
It was
rise.
Rumsfeld. It was Rumsfeld that brought him
Cheney,
along. That was
Yep.
what happened.
Yeah, because Cheney became
Yep.
deputy of the staff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. Have you guys seen the movie with Christian Bale? Christian Bale?
Which movie with
Where he
Christian
played
Bale? I mean, he's
Cheney?
not
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
he played
nobody
Cheney.
actor that's only been in
Cheney.
one movie.
Yeah.
He
plays-
played Cheney in.
Oh, yes.
I think it's yes.
W.
Yes, W.
Vice. I think it's called Vice.
Is it?
Okay. Somebody
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, you're gonna-
IMDb
You know what
that
else is
shit.
interesting about that administration, ma'am?
Yes, it's called Vice.
Vice
Mhm.
is Ford appointed George Bush Sr.
That's what I said. HW.
as the head of the CIA.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
all started from then. Like
Yeah.
what they said is there was a moment when they were going to Ford was going to go with Rumsfeld as VP.
Yeah, that's the Halloween
Yeah.
massacre.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. I'm
Yeah.
totally,
I was like, holy shit.
I don't know it all, but I do know that Kissinger was involved in that.
Yes, Kissinger was
administration.
involved in it. Yeah, there was a lot of
Rockefeller.
position changes between the Nixon
Rockefeller was the
administration and the
fucking
Ford
VP.
administration.
The Rockefellers lived like 2 miles from where I knew the girl down the block. I used to hang out there. Rockefeller's right across the street, overlooking the harbor. Actually, if you go down the block here, you can see their house right across the water.
That's
It's fucked up.
bananas.
I was in the house. I mean, you grew up in the town, you know everybody. It's a small town. You know everybody. I was in that. It's a beautiful home. It's absolutely beautiful. A lot of shit in that house from like the fucking 1700s, because you're talking about the Roosevelts.
Well, okay, so I think
And Ford Motor Company is president of the fucking businessman. And who is his right-hand man? Rockefeller.
Yep.
Businessman. 2 businessmen running the country. I don't know or don't remember what the good things that came out of the Ford administration besides maybe the Cold War.
Oh, speaking of
that's not
business,
good.
disappointing business with Microsoft and Discord not being able to get that deal done.
Me, not so much, yes. But now there's all this talk of they're going to go public on their own. They just got a valuation of $6 to $7 billion, and there's a lot of mumbling that they're going to SPAC. And of course, there's mumblings that it's going to be one of the SPACs I actually happen to own at $10.40 a share.
Okay. So basically, all you just did was go, "Hey, I'm about to make some money." So what's the
Hopefully.
news in this situation? Like,
There
I
is
don't
no
give a
news.
fuck about
There
you
is no
making
news.
money.
There is no news. The deal was it's $10 billion.
I'm like, does
It,
anybody care about
it,
this?
I gave you half the news right there in a roundabout way. It's a $10 billion deal. Discord's not worth that. Okay, so they trying to figure out a number, and Discord said, "Yeah, you know what? We've been contemplating an IPO or a SPAC, so we're just going to step back from this table and think about some shit for a little bit."
Okay.
Their valuation is
And
$6 to $7 billion. Somewhere between 6 and 7 is what that company is worth, aka Wall Street eyes.
okay,
So
that's why the deal
yeah, they
is not
want 10
happening is
million,
because they were trying to
10
overproject their
billion.
value for Microsoft, and Microsoft is like, yeah, maybe not right now.
Yeah, well, when Wall Street came around and said, this is a $6 to $7 billion deal, and Discord's got a $10 billion on the table, things got a little sticky there.
Well, yeah,
They'll
as
go
it would if you found out that the guy was trying to sell you a $300 car for $1,000.
Now, the other thing is what I read, the VP or president or COO has said once before that I'm not so sure if I want to sell my company to somebody else because he's going to just be the head of the board of directors, period.
Right.
And everything we've developed and designed over the 9-10 years in the gaming community just be enveloped into something else.
He's
a
been
la,
watching Justin.
a la Teams or Skype or
No,
whatever.
do, you know what I mean? Like, he had to have been watching Justin. Justin talked about
Yep.
selling Twitch
Yep.
to
Yep.
Amazon and how
Yep.
crazy of just an ordeal it is to sell your company for $1 billion.
Sure.
He's like, and he has a YouTube channel. The former guy of Justin TV, the guy
Yeah.
who made it all, but
Yeah,
has a YouTube channel where he sits back and he talks about kind of that whole experience.
It's a tough thing to go through, from what I know, following financials and how all this shit starts to work. And Discord has thought about many times before going public on their own, just doing either a traditional listing or an IPO, and now, of course, with the SPAC craze in the market,
Yeah, why not?
That's it's instant money. It's instant money. It's guaranteed. You're not just gonna, all right, I'm gonna put my stock out there and hold on. Before we do that, let's call a few people and see if they'll buy it at this price. Okay, we got this many. Let's see. Well, let's call some people see if we can get them at this price. And that's why they say, an IPO happens and you're looking, it's supposed to be, I'm going to buy it. It's going to be $40 when it opens. And when it finally opens, it's 110
Yeah,
because they have sold it out at amounts to people who are willing to pay that and drive the price up to launch an IPO. And then you usually lose money buying it because it usually settles down about 13%.
right.
Hello, Coinbase. Thank you very much.
Of losing money,
Yeah, Coinbase. I own it
Microsoft.
at
Well, hold on, Mike.
381.
This is still attached to Microsoft. So no longer for free to play games do you have to have an Xbox Live account
Nope, no more.
or an Xbox Network account.
Right,
'Cause
yes.
Xbox Live is not a thing anymore either.
That's right.
So- which
Yeah.
which makes the articles funny because they still all reference it as Xbox Live.
It's always going to be live. It's like, Coca-Cola. No, it's always going to be Coke.
Yeah.
It's Coke.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they changed their business models lately. I mean, a lot. They changed it a lot.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
You have to. You need to be a
Yeah.
service company now, okay? Which leads straight into another great point. You have to be a service company now. Look at Apple, okay? In the last 2 quarters, they have announced tremendous things. Tremendous things. The launch of a new iPhone, which looks exactly the same going back to the iPhone 7. Good job at being revolutionary. Then they dropped all this information about their arcade and the money that they're making there and how much money is being made here. And we're a subscription based service. You guys wanted numbers. This is how many people we got streaming, and this is how much money we're making. And then just the other day, Spring Day, they drop everything. Here's a new operating system. Fuck Google. Fuck Facebook. New operating system. We're just going to lock your privacy down like there's no tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, here's a brand new iPad that can do 8K on the M1 chip also. Oh, and that iMac you guys wanted? Yeah, here it is. And oh, did you lose your shit? It's okay. We'll give you a Tile. Oh, sorry, Tile. I know you're going to sue Apple, but I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Here's a little device you can track your shit. And their stock has dropped constantly. Apple needs to be a service company, period. Microsoft,
No, they don't.
yes, they do. If they want their shareholders to be happy and make money, they absolutely do, because it's the shareholders who want to see subscription-based income.
Yeah, but
your Apple Arcade
their
numbers,
business is
your
not
Apple
just,
numbers, we want to
it's
see
just
fitness
services.
numbers. Right, the services company. That's all really fucking Apple is a
No,
service.
they're not. What about the $4,000 devices they sell you? Are you kidding?
Which are made by who?
Apple.
Really? No, not Samsung, not Foxconn.
Who is putting the?
not-
Are you gonna buy a generic Apple thing? Like, if it doesn't have the Apple logo on it, are you gonna buy it?
Absolutely. I actually bought 7 of them years ago, and they were a third.
Well,
of the
you're
price.
not the average consumer.
And then
You're
no,
not.
everybody in the Apple ecosystem who needed to have a Mac to do video editing bought a Honwai because Apple licensed their operating system to other people. I can actually get a better machine for the same price. Honwai, here I come.
I don't know anybody who has a Honwai. So
They don't exist anymore because Apple doesn't sell them, but that's also long before you were out of diapers.
okay, so irrelevant to this conversation,
Not
right?
irrelevant.
Because
to
they don't.
the current layout, yes.
To the
Yeah.
current-
So as their
They'll make their
business
own device.
currently exists, the things that they sell you that make the most money
Right.
are the iPhone, or MacBook Airs.
Uh-huh.
Their subscription. I mean, I agree with your point in that they could probably refine what their subscription business is, but to say that they should be a subscription company, I don't think is accurate. I think that they're still
But this
all
is
about the
exactly-
hardware
This is
and
exactly what Wall Street and the analysts, the financial gurus, Warren Buffett, have been telling Cook, stop. Show us your books as a service company, because that's what you are, subscription-based.
but they're not.
Oh, really? How much do you pay them? You pay for Apple Arcade?
No.
But you could, right?
I could, but I don't.
Do you pay for Apple Fitness?
No,
But you could.
but I don't want to.
But you
pay for
could.
Apple TV?
I
But
get it for free
could.
right now
Okay,
because
so
I
someone-
bought an iPhone recently.
Right, so somebody's paying for it. Right. When they give you a subscription, especially when it's Apple to Apple, we call that robbing from Peter to pay Paul. They're paying themselves. They're showing.
Okay, but
Yeah,
the
they're-
main, just to go from the choices that I made, the
point
things
here
that
is
I've
the reason-
paid, the things
ahead.
that I've paid for recently are my $1,400 phone.
Right. Oh, wait. But you had to make sure you had like the iCloud to go with that at $9.99 a month.
Yeah, that's true. I do
Subscription-
pay for the iCloud subscription.
Subscription based.
But it
But that's
doesn't
the
matter if you don't have the device. If you don't have the device, it's irrelevant.
You want an Apple card? That's a subscription too.
No, it's not. That's a credit card.
It actually is. When you go and read all their little fine print, you are subscribing
To what?
to Apple's fucking debit card through Mellon Bank. No,
No, it's Golden Sachs.
it's Saks. Right, Saks. Thank you.
Okay, well that's a credit card. That's not a
It's still a
subscription
subscription.
service.
Yeah, cancel it.
What do you mean cancel it?
Cancel your card.
You can cancel any credit card.
Not at any time. Not when it's a subscription. It's like American Express too. Yeah.
I can cancel any credit card I have at any time.
Not the Apple card. It's a subscription-based model. It's only available to Apple subscribers.
Okay,
Can't get it unless you own an Apple device. You're subscribed to it. It's actually in terms and conditions. You can't
Do
cancel.
you do you pay a subscription fee
No,
for
you
this
don't.
card?
No, you
So
don't.
why does it matter? It's a credit
They
card.
they pay you, but you can't cancel it.
If
You
you
stop
can't
using it.
cancel it, then is it like an indentured service card? What if you don't want it anymore?
You can't cancel for 24 months. Can't cancel it for 24 months. Subscription based. It's to provide subscription numbers. You can't cancel it. You're counted for 24.
Okay, so if you have the
Stop using it.
card and you don't use it, you can't cancel it? You can't just say, I don't want this card?
No, not for 24 months from your
That's a little weird, but
No, it's-
okay. How is that boosting their revenue numbers?
it boosts their revenue numbers because they can show the amount of credit that they have out there. Fucks you because you can't cancel a credit card, which is exactly what you need to do when you don't want one anymore, is call up and cancel it so it comes off your credit report.
Okay, well, I
Does
even
not
if
have an
that,
open
let's say
credit
that's
out there.
accurate. I don't know that
Accurate.
makes them a subscription company. I think they're still mainly a company that sells you expensive hardware.
Okay, let's say you want to develop apps in the cloud. That's a subscription based too. Oh, yep, that's $99 a year. That's subscription based.
They have a
it's not. You
tremendous
can
amount
just-
of subscription. Like they have a tremendous amount of paywall that they are not even free to play. Like they're like worse than any video game that you've ever thought out there, because what they do is not only did they make you buy the console, but they're also making you pay for your monthly subscription to
Sure.
play on the console live. Plus, when you buy a game, they want you to also pay a subscription to that company so you can play that game online
Yeah, but that's I
for a
consider that
duration. Well,
secondary
no, that's what I'm
because-
saying. That's what Apple essentially has done. They
Yeah.
give you a very expensive device that you pay for, right? You said
Right.
$1,400 iPhone, right?
Sure.
Jay,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're saying yes, and I'm asking her a question. Shut the fuck up, Webb. All right, so you paid for that, but then on top of all this, if you want access to these other parts of the ecosystem, they don't just give you that because you bought a phone. There are paywalls that are behind that all of this other content is behind. It is a subscription service. At the moment you own the device, everything beyond that is a subscription service. Once you put yourself in the ecosystem, you will readily buy a new device when the devices come out because they can get you to buy the new expensive device. And lots of people are paying extensively for access to all of the other stuff because it's an offer from Apple about the ecosystem. Like it
$190.
becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger subscription-based service for a lot of people.
If
Like
you
just because you're not
You
fully
know-
bought into it, like when you look at what they do, how their subscription services work, they offer a plethora of them across all of their ecosystem.
Yeah, they do offer a number of subscription services. And I guess if you wanted to say that they're subscription based, you could also argue that you don't have to pay the $1,400 up front. You can get that financed and pay monthly.
can you do that still through who?
Yeah. Well, when you go to,
Right,
they give
it-
you an option. You either pay for it, here you go, $1,400,
Right.
which is what I did,
So you can still lease.
or you can. You're basically
Subsidizing the
lease to buy,
Lease
which
to
is you pay it over 2 years. Like they have the
Yeah, they've extended
iPhone
the contract
upgrade
now.
program, you
Yeah.
know, where you
iPhone.
can. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. You pay it over 2 years,
Right.
and then
You can trade in.
every year you get the option to renew and trade it in. So you
Sure.
can essentially never
Never
if
own
you
an iPhone.
want, you never own it. You just get a new one every year and you just pay
essentially
for it
like
every
car
month.
leases.
Yeah, essentially like a lease.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
To
So
our listeners
all right.
out
So
there,
now
bad idea.
does this validate
Yeah.
the subscription service company that Apple has become?
I guess if you look at it that way, yeah, it
That's
could.
what the analysts want. Here's the problem: Apple won't break down the numbers.
No.
Wasn't it like I don't even think they've told you how many people are streaming on Apple TV Plus. But they want to be looked at as a service company. a subscription-based service company. We're a services company. We're servicing this. We're servicing just the way Microsoft is now.
Right.
Microsoft's flat out and tell you we're a services company. Google hasn't yet because they don't want to classify everything under one umbrella, which is smart because they monopolized their umbrella by changing their name to Alphabet. It was a brilliant fucking move. It's the most brilliant move in business I've ever heard of. I'll be right back. But they want to be looked at as a services company, but they won't produce the numbers as a services company. And
Interesting.
and all anybody cares about right now, especially through a pandemic, this is where Apple missed the boat, was release how many fucking numbers or how many people are watching your shit. Because Netflix will tell you every fucking month how many people are watching their shit because they're a subscription-based service company.
Well, no, they don't actually. They don't tell
Yeah.
you how many people are watching their stuff. They don't. First of all, they
You-
selectively release that information. They
No,
selectively tell
they
you,
they have to
hey,
only do it every 3 months.
no, they don't.
Yes, they do. They're a publicly traded company. What
They
do you
have to
think?
release their revenue information. They don't have to tell you how many people are watching their stuff. That's not
Yes, they
correct.
do.
No,
Yes,
they
do.
don't. Please look it up. They don't.
First off, the market will come out and say, we expect Netflix to come out with 6.6 million more subscribers than they had last quarter, which was 570 million. And that's part of the way stocks work, especially in that industry, because Netflix comes around and says, yep, we only had 6 million new subscribers.
They
Michigan-
release their
Michigan
subscriber
State have to.
information because it's related to their revenue information. They
Yes,
don't
they
have to tell you how many
do.
people are watching a specific show.
No, I
They
never said-
could, they
I
can
never
if
said
they want.
No, time out. I never said a specific show, and they do it all the time, by the way, because to this day, Lithium, what was that TV show? 5 episodes. They just announced season 2 is coming out. Is the most watched episodic television show on Netflix in the
Lithium?
history of Netflix. Not Lithium. 5 episodes. Everybody fucking raved and screamed about it. We all watched it. Oh my God, I forgot. It'll
I
come.
feel like every time a new one comes out, it's like the most watched Netflix
No,
thing
that's
ever.
Netflix's big one, and Hulu is was it Bridgerton or is it Handmaid's Tale?
Well, Bridgerton is Netflix, so maybe
Okay,
that's
so
what you're
then no,
thinking about.
No, it's not Bridgerton then. Then Handmaid's Tale is number 1 for Hulu.
For Hulu. Well, it's their most well-known one. I don't watch really anything else on Hulu.
Oh, then
That
season 4 is next week.
you know, do you watch Do you watch Handmaid's
Yes,
Tale?
I'm not done with season 3 yet. I'm playing catch up because next week is season 4. I
I'm
am
not-
on season 3, episode 11, where I like to call her Ostrich because I can never remember her fucking name, is now like bowing down and trying to play nicey nice. So she's dealing with her commander to get the truck to sneak the commander's wife and a whole bunch of kids out of Gilead.
Oh, you mean
That's where I-
June?
June, yes, June.
June?
I call her Ostrich, though. We call her Ostrich in this house.
Oh,
it's-
because originally she was
I don't even know.
Offred? Offred?
Yeah, Offred.
Yeah.
Breed or whatever. So she's Ostrich. She's just
Ostrich.
makes life easier. Everybody can pronounce it, and it's funny. So she's Ostrich.
Ostrich.
But yeah, no, good show. I started watching it. It was one of those shows that I wanted to like build up like 2 seasons to sit and binge, and then wound up waiting till 3 dropped to start it. Because you know me, I'm watching like 8 or 9 different shows at the same time. But that's one that the babe likes to watch, and our watching ability window is like a good 2 hours.
Did you watch how do you feel about the Winter Soldier and the Falcon so far?
I watched 1 through 4, and then I paused so I could just watch the last 2. Didn't the last one just drop? So-
Well, they drop every Friday.
Yeah, but it's only 6 episodes, right?
Yes. So,
So-
I think the last one's
What's
gonna
only
drop
6
this
episodes?
Friday.
The Winter Soldier.
Winter
Oh.
Soldier.
Not watching.
Yeah. The
What?
6, he get, yeah. You don't you remember? And I can I'll tell you the story before he can. He got pissed off at Disney because he said they would vault shit just like they used to when it was on VHS and AKA DVD and now Blu-ray, and they're going to do the same fucking thing, and he was absolutely right.
What do you mean vault shit?
They vaulted their content. There's certain
yeah, you
shit
wanna
that
watch
was
it?
available and is not
Wait.
available anymore on their platform. They were like, here
Yep.
you go, this was this, and now we're putting it away. They did the Disney shit that they said they were going to do. Here you go, play with it for a little bit, and now we'll keep that safe for you for a little while until like another 5 years maybe goes by, and we are like, okay, we'll give it to you again. Here you go. Here's your fucking 1 year of fucking being able to watch this movie.
I agree with some completely. They marketing has Disney's marketing has been genius over the years, kind of like the way Apple is, that they believe they make you believe everything is great and new. Disney does the same thing.
They're like, we're vaulting this movie
So
for
y'all,
the next 10 years.
Hey.
It's actually pretty brilliant.
Right.
I'm gonna propose an argument to you and show you how much no, it's not brilliant and how much bullshit it is. Sunsetting fucking weapons.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because they're just bringing them back now. It's the same. Yeah, it is the same thing. But
Okay, it's not the same thing because when they sunset weapons, what they do is bring back the same weapon and make you grind for it again, even though you technically already paid for the weapon and the original weapon is no longer usable.
And they changed some of the perks on it. Oh wait, hold on.
yeah,
VHS to DVD, they gave you director's cuts and alternate endings and other shit.
See,
They've
but
done
that's
it. They've done it.
They're doing.
No, Disney
What?
Disney
But
is
that's
destiny.
not-
Disney is
Time out,
destiny. They follow the same
But it's
fucking
not
model.
their fault that VHS is obsolete. All they did was come out with it in a different format. That's not something they manufactured.
They different format, and what they did was utilize the new format to get you to repurchase the item again,
Yeah, of course.
so that they could show you more stuff that they didn't give you before, or
Once again,
in a way
Bungie-
that it wasn't presented to you before. It's the same
Well,
concept. It's
that's not the
recycled
same
content.
thing.
Yes, it is.
That's not the
Bungie,
same thing.
Bungie.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for proving my point for the last $220 that I've given you for all these passes. You got me. I said I would play this game till the end of it, and I can't go back on that. But all you're doing is recycling content to the point where I haven't played in over a month.
Well,
I popped.
to be
I
fair-
haven't popped in for
to
the
be
I
fair.
haven't popped in for the Guardian games
Guardian
because
games,
it's pointless. Everybody knows Titans are gonna win.
Of course,
We're done
just
with
collect my
it.
prize.
Like the little
man.
hunter army is. Did they jump out to a lead this week? Like
I think
they
so,
did
'cause
last
there's more
year?
hunt-
Did you?
There's no hunt-
Okay.
Because
I
hunters
have
go
not-
hard, man, but it just ain't enough.
I mean, hunters were losing badly last time.
They lost badly last time, but they were winning for a
The first
chunk.
day,
Yeah.
they were winning for the first day.
Yeah,
And
because
then
they went
after
hard.
that,
They went hard.
and
The
then
hunters hit
after
the ground
that-
running.
and then after that, Titans just overtook everybody. It
Yeah.
was terrible. It was
They
depressing.
did what Titans do. They just came through punching people and just like knocking people out the fucking way. They were just like
What
dunk, 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 dunk,
What
dunk.
happens when you don't align yourself as a Titan with Dead Orbit? It's game over. It's game over.
Such bullshit.
But to be fair, the story kind of wrapped for this season. Like,
6 weeks ago.
no, not that long ago.
Oh,
Maybe
But when you
you know,
got
after the
well-
whole thing with the
yeah,
with
when you got,
Zavala and
you got the level 12 at the table, just like that season when you were running around on Mars with all them fucking things that would pop open, and you had to fill them with all sorts of shit to get them to level 12. It's the
well,
same-
that's not. I mean, it's the same mechanic, but I think they did a really good job making the story work.
Well,
Which that season was not that. It was like,
I will say, and I put it in Slack, if this leaked information that came out about season 14 is true, it's fuck you thumping. I ain't playing.
I don't know, sounds fake.
I don't know. It makes
Sounds
perfect, It makes perfect sense in a lot of ways, though. With
Not
the glass
for anything web you have to play. because it'll be
No.
the first time we're going to be able to cross-platform play our characters.
No, I'm not running a raid with you then. I won't run any raids. I will not even go after the mythic class. Fuck you. Fuck that gun. Fuck you. Fuck everybody else who ever had it. Fuck everybody else who got 20 of them. Although I shouldn't say that because I wound up getting like 20 Galahorns when I knew people only got like one.
You got 20 Galahorn?
Yeah.
There is a picture, and it still should be in my
It's your Xbox
Destiny.
profile.
Is it my Xbox? But only when you're in Destiny.
It's your picture history of like screenshots.
Right. It's in there. You'll see. That was Destiny 1, right? I took a picture of my locker one day when we had to clean out our lockers because they were expanding it from like 100 weapons to 150.
Woo.
But you had to make
Woo.
sure. But you had to make sure you had like room for like 20 items or some shit like that. So I just trashed everything in my locker, but kept my exotics.
Okay.
And like 6 screenshots of exotics. Because I would
Okay.
never break them down. I would just stuff them in the locker. So yeah, you go to one page and the entire page is almost Galahorns.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. it was
entire
strict.
page is almost Galahorns. Another page is like 15 Ceros regimes.
What the hell? What for? I really loved when the
There's no point
Galahorn.
there's no point in breaking anything down.
It
You
was
got nothing-
it was also RNGesus telling him he was never going to get a Vex.
Right. Never got the Vex Method class. The only weapon in the game I have never gotten.
Yep.
You look through my history, my fucking exotic kiosk in either fucking game, and it's the only weapon I've never gotten. Well, I shouldn't say that anymore because I didn't go get the shotgun from the raid.
Dude, you know if they bring it back, it's the
Sure.
first thing we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna
But yeah.
you're gonna go get your Vex, and the story will be over.
And that'll be it.
That'll
Yeah.
break it.
That's it.
I'll do with that one.
It took the raid coming back all these years later.
Yeah. How many times did I run that fucking raid? Never got that weapon.
Well, yes, did I get it? Probably not.
Well, there's a lot of people who didn't get it.
Yeah.
J7, I ran that raid more than most people, period.
Oh yeah, he was always
When-
in there.
When it was, Destiny.gg or whatever the fuck it was, where it was the LFG groups, I was one of the people there with 2 friends, thump a lot of times, post in, anybody need help running through the raid? Need 4. Or 3. I ran that raid so many fucking times. 500 times?
At least.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'd
at
have
least.
to
He was running that shit all the time.
I'd have to load up Destiny 1 to see what my stat numbers are because you can't track it on a website anymore, not that I know of. But I would easily say 500. Fuck Atheon and all that shit in that entire raid. Fuck your, I mean, I was in
Okay.
the raid. When we all got our first Galahorns, I was in that raid shooting the fucking harpies. We'd all fucking load up and just shoot them with Galahorns to see how many we could take out.
I mean,
The
By
Gorgon.
the way,
were you there
Yeah, and you can only
when,
12, by the way.
what?
You can only take out 12 Gorgons. You could never get the 13th one until they upped the power level to like 580.
Yeah, I really loved how, well, they had to sunset it because it was like,
It's a stupid weapon to begin with.
it was awesome, but it was
Oh, you wanna
also,
run the raid? Sorry, you ain't got a Galahorn. Get out.
yeah, basically that's why.
Bitch,
It
I got
created
this
this
sniper
whole
rifle.
situation
This much
where people didn't want you to be on their fire team if you didn't have a Galahorn. And they
Oh.
were like, no, we're just gonna put a stop to that.
Yeah, the
and make
Destiny
it so that-
community got cold, boy.
Which was
Yeah.
stupid, too, because not for anything, you could have went in there with that fucking white nail sniper rifle. Green ammo was fucking abundant because you had to clear out waves of shit on the ground before you could even get to the fucking dude and hit him with your Galahorns while somebody's swiping him with a sword. But no, oh shit. Oh, we used all our heavy ammo. Okay, we got to glitch around to make more.
Or you
Meanwhile,
could get a heavy ammo synthesis.
Oh,
no, yeah, but when you
the
could
glory days of ammo sense.
when you could eat blocks, yeah. And then people realized if you did a certain fucking thing in there, purple ammo would just drop, and you wouldn't have to waste your back. It's fucking stupid. Meanwhile, it's green ammo. I white now. 7 shots.
I
That's
love.
just as much damage as the fucking Gallahorn.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
Great, you
Destiny
throw
1.
one rocket, and I will shoot my entire clip and do the same damage. Oh, by the way, I can probably get off another half a clip.
Why won't they bring back, what do you call it? Um, uh, Sparrow, Sparrow Racing.
Because they don't own the rights to it.
Yeah. SRL.
Company that they had another company build it for them and suck it into the game, and that company owns the rights to SRL racing.
Is it Visceral?
Yes, it is Visceral Games. Thank you. Very good. Visceral Games owns the rights to it.
Didn't Visceral go out of business though?
Sure, that doesn't mean you still don't own your patent.
Yeah,
for-
their IP is still their IP.
Gosh darn, they should just buy it from them.
They won't
That's
sell
What are
it.
they gonna do with it?
I
They
got,
don't even. They're not even in business anymore.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, but it doesn't work like that for them.
That's right. I got a friend that every time somebody goes to the doctor and gets their EKG digitized, they get paid.
Or licensed it.
Patents are, well, yeah, well, license it has to be a big licensing deal. You're going to license it to how many companies? Just
It's
Bungie?
weird. I mean, it's. There's.
License
Well, I
it
don't
for
even understand what's unique about it. Like, what's unique about Sparrow Racing that's not already in the game? Like, the mechanics are already in the game.
That the entire racing engine wasn't, and that's what they got from Visceral. was-
Visceral.
The ability to do track layout and all that stuff.
Right. Track layout, speed density. I mean, if you remember, you get on your speeder and you hold the button and whoosh, you're going.
Yeah, you go faster, and there's
But that's it. That's you just go. But in SRL racing, you had lots of control and movement as if it was a race car.
yeah.
Yeah, it operated way more
Yeah.
fluid. You were always looking at Sparrow stats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, why even have Sparrow stats
Why?
if you're not gonna race?
Remember my streak?
Like, what is even the point of Sparrow stats if
To
all you're
turn
gonna
around
use them
and say-
for?
to turn around and say I had 30 straight wins in a row.
But I'm just saying, if you're not gonna
No,
race,
currently, what is the point?
There's no point. Yeah, there's no point.
what's the point of like having? They're either 150 or 160, right? So what's even the point of
No.
them having any level or anything at all, really?
No,
If
just
not
give me
to
my
race
stupid little perk that I'll never use because I'm not going to be in the middle of a battle to jump on my Sparrow so all my weapons reload.
Yeah.
That's a weird perk on a Sparrow. I like the ones that have like increased mobility and
Yes.
maybe the ability to like perform tricks. Those are nice.
Yeah.
And I like the stunt Sparrows. Those are always fun.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I still do tricks and shit on all my Sparrows as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Try to figure out how to be able to bounce off the borders. There are certain jumps in that game that if you hit them just right, you
Mhm.
actually bounce off the border. Like I've got a video of it somewhere. One of my Sparrows let's say about 6 feet up in the air, and I'm heading towards out of bounds, and like over a cliff, and all of a sudden my Sparrow's just like boink, and I'm skating the wall. That's not even there.
That's crazy.
And there's a couple of spots you can do it in. But yeah,
Okay.
there's no point to it anymore because it's if they brought it back, it'd be great right now. You'd have a fucking 36 million people go and play for 3 days.
That'd be awesome. In fact, when they first announced Guardian games last year, that's what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be SRL, but no, it's just it's just a bounty generator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking Iron Banner Part 2.
Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you finish it all because you got to finish that book. It's the
Yeah.
only way you can get the price down on items on the website.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cute. It's
In-game
cute.
achievements tied to.
Outside party.
That's pretty cool. I actually don't mind that.
Don't get me wrong. I bought a couple things. I have
Mhm.
my original whatever the fuck Destiny shirt with my gamer tag on my sleeve. I'm sure Thump's got one too. And then I got the
Me too.
I've got my Destiny hoodie with my hunter patch and
yeah, okay. I got one with the Titan. I bought
I
a
got my
hundred.
Triumph shirt with the with
I
my
have the
gamer
Triumph
tag.
shirt. Yeah,
yeah.
the first one and the second one. I have them both.
Mhm.
Second one didn't come with your gamer tag on it though.
No.
Wasn't custom. Only the first one did, which is cool though. I mean, I still rep it. It's in my summer repertoire of clothing. But it's cool. It's got your name on it. It's got your gamer tag on it.
Mhm.
I still have the coolest gamer tag item.
Which one is that?
He's gonna fucking go to the shelf and get his tomahawk now.
I'm not gonna go to the shelf and get it up. Oh, it is actually sitting over here next to me though.
Is it the tomahawk? Is
yeah,
that what
it is the tomahawk.
Am I good or what?
Yeah, well, because that is the single best piece of like gamer collector's item shit I've ever bought. Like I bought I bought a Call of Duty, I think, that came, and it's the only Call of Duty I ever bought, that came with a remote control car that had the little like bomb pack thing, and it had the camera, so you could drive the little car around wherever with the camera on the front of it, and it was all in one unit and came with the game. But the Tomahawk, yeah, greatest item ever, because like it's got my gamer tag on the back of it. It says "Thump You" and tells what. It's I can't remember what the number is, like 232 of 500 or something like that. Like
Wow.
yeah, but we got it with what was it, Medal of Honor?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, bought Medal of Honor, the limited edition version of it, and got this real life tomahawk.
Oh my God! It's an actual tomahawk. That's like a weapon.
Yeah,
like,
that piece is
It
badass.
came with a war game.
like you can really hurt somebody with that.
Piece is badass. I think the
Yeah,
only
that is the
only-
best video game item I have ever like gotten. I bought a collector's edition and got a 1 of 500. Oh, excuse me, it's 415 of 500.
That's not bad. I think the only piece I did, well, I don't want to say the only, but I think the greatest piece of video game memorabilia I gave to my kid, which was the Ghost,
Yes, I like that.
which was cool as fuck. Yeah, that was cool as fuck. 'Cause it even lights up and shit. It's cool.
Nice. Nice.
Well, my oldest is into Destiny pretty hardcore. We game from time to time.
Oh,
She's got a hunter and a Titan.
nice.
She usually mans her hunter. She hasn't learned yet Titan Master Race.
Why doesn't she have a warlock?
I think she does, but it was a baby character.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like third.
The warlock master race.
I think Warlock was her third. She started a hunter because the cape, right, Thump? The cape.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I agree with. I mean, the hunter is the coolest looking character, even over the Warlock.
Warlock's floof
even-
to floof,
I
and
think the Warlock's more badass than the hunter. Because he's like a fucking. He's a wizard.
He's a warlock.
He's a wizard. He's a warlock. He's not even a
Yeah.
wizard. That's an insult. I'm sorry to warlocks out there. He's a warlock. A hunter just fucking like throws shit at you constantly. Stop. They
Nope.
fucking throw bugs at me and shit and fucking knives and stop. Come and punch me. That's why I'm a Titan. Come and punch me. Come on.
well, the warlock, I don't have to do that. I can just Nova bomb you.
Well, which is true, but you can only do that once every like fucking few minutes. or I
That's
can fucking
true.
punch the ever living shit out of you and kill you. I liked the Titan role, and I liked it because of the PvE aspect of groups, raids, strikes. You know, while everyone's trying to beat up on a boss to take him down, well, I can just run up to him and give him like fucking 8 or 9 punches and then back out of there. And by the time I'm doing that, I've got him stunned because of whatever fucking perks I have on, and you guys are just beating the ever living shit out of him. You know, the tank. I like to be the tank, and I know when to get in and out of a battle.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
that's what Titans are. They're like tanks.
Yeah, that's the point. Go in, do heavy damage, get the fuck out.
They need nerfs.
Right, rebuild yourself. You lose all your, you don't need nerfs. See, I mean, going up against them, yeah, they're totally unbalanced in PvP. There's no doubt about that. I've said it from day one, and I stand behind it.
Yeah,
Except
it's a
for that
hard
one
it's a
time-
hard balance to try and maintain when you look at what the PvE aspect of that game needs to be.
Yeah.
Versus what the PvP aspect of the game needs to be. Like, it's almost at a point now that it needs to be two different games.
Yeah,
It's true,
agreed.
true, and that's the same for a lot of games that have that PvE.
And I know that just upset a big chunk of the Destiny community.
Well, not necessarily so. I mean, you know, it was also that point in time where there was the thoughts of breaking all that out to make it esport.
Well, remember,
Which only
If
lasts-
they
well,
wanted that
remember,
to be the case,
even during the life cycle of WoW, there was a point where they were like, open world PvP needs to stop. We need to give options to people to go into PvP arenas, not to just be available for combat all the time.
See, that's where that one game we were playing, which was open world, that was open world PvE.
Which
The one based on the TV show.
Oh, damn it! I was just looking at a screenshot from it the other day too.
But it was an open world PvE.
It also began with a D. Defiance.
Yeah. Defiance.
Ah,
Yeah,
Defiance.
Defiance, which was great. The concept was dynamite. I give props to this day to any game developer who can pull something off like that, and I can only think of two: the crew at Defiance and the crew at 1 vs 100, because the game changed every week.
Right.
Yeah, and it would react. It would change depending on things that happened on the show.
Right.
Right. As soon as
Yeah,
the
you
TV
were
That was
in the storyline.
Awesome.
You launched into
Loved
that
it.
game, and all of a sudden, whatever happened on the TV show was happening to you.
Yeah.
That was, oh shit! No, we got blue bugs coming in. What blue bugs? I've never seen these blue ones before. And then you look, they're fucking dropping from the sky. Run! And all of a sudden, it was like 64 fucking people trying to kill this monster blue bug, and weapons and parts and shit flying all over. It was great. It was a great game. It's a great game. The concept was great. I applaud the developers who were working tirelessly, I'm sure, to match gameplay with an episodic television show.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think there was an effort to do more things like that. I don't know if you remember, what's this game where you were doing like time travel?
Zero?
Which one?
Was that Dark Zero, Zero Dark Hour, or Dark Zero Hour? Is that an Xbox? That was an Xbox game, no?
It was an Xbox game. Oh my god, now I can't remember what it's called.
Mirror Dark Zero.
Anyway, the game was like,
Fucking game was great. I know exactly what you're talking about. You could time warp through that game.
yeah, it had like time travel elements.
Yeah.
And it also had a TV show
Yes.
that was supposed to be happening concurrently. But then I think because of the way that things happened with the 360, no, with the Xbox One's launch, they decided not to focus as much on TV and things like that. So what ended up happening is you would do like one section of the game, and then you would get to watch like a 30-minute live action cutscene,
Yeah.
basically, which is what was intended to be the TV show, which disappointing. I really wish that they had found a way to really make that work.
that Time Shift or was it before Time Shift?
No, let's see.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the game, but I remember playing it. I certainly remember playing it. Thought it was Time Shift. Maybe it's not. It could have been Zero Dark Hour. Or
It was interesting. It had this really interesting mechanic, where you had like you could like slow down time
Sure, I
and
remember watching it at E3. That was on
uh,
360.
um
Not Darkest of Days. Oh God.
this is really gonna bother me if I can't
Yeah,
find
yeah, it really is. It's not. That was a shitty game. And no, no, no. Nope. It's not Life is Strange. It was too new. Yeah, I can't remember what the fuck it was.
with matching TV. I'm just gonna be that literal with matching TV show.
Watch out, you'll get Doctor Who video games left and right. By the way, it's been renewed for another season. Because like you
Ooh.
didn't know that was gonna happen. I mean, it's Doctor Who. There's no end to it. It's like fucking
Well, that's the whole thing with Doctor
live
Who.
on forever. Well, it should live on forever. It's right. There's no
Well,
reason to end.
It was supposed to have only had a finite time frame.
Yeah.
But
As long as you don't kill the fucking story and make it stupid, keep it going.
yeah, they found a way to beat the end of the time cycle, which they explained in their lore at that time period. So they were able to continue on past what was supposed to be the last Doctor.
Okay, it was Quantum Break.
Quantum
Yes,
Break.
Quantum Break.
Yes.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
That was the show. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a game that also had a show, and it had like actual actors in the
Yep.
game, like Aiden from Game of Thrones, Aiden Gillen from Game of Thrones, and Sean Ashmore from a number of shows, and Lance Redrick, even though he's also in Destiny, he's Zavala. um,
Yeah, that
you
was
know.
the sequel to Alan Wake.
It was by the same by Remedy, which is the developer.
Yeah,
It's not
Remedy.
really a sequel. It's like it's in the same kind of like it was originally supposed to be a sequel to
Yeah.
Alan Wake, but
Yeah.
it ended up being so different that they just
Yeah.
made it its own thing.
Yeah, wasn't Sam Lake in it in both of them or
Sam Lake, I think
No,
he directed it.
yeah, he was on direction. The actor in it was in both movies, in both shows, either way, in both games. That's where the big tie over came in. That's why they never lost that sequel status to it. If I'm not, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
this
show.
game in particular was supposed to have been like a game that like tied into an existing TV show.
Mhm.
And if they had executed it in that way and if it had been successful, it probably would have gotten more like that. Like that kind of mix of like static versus interactive storytelling, which I found really interesting. But I think because of the way that the Xbox One's launch went, where people didn't really like their focus on TV, it was kind of shelved.
Well, yeah. Also, it was held back because they didn't want to compete with all the exclusives that dropped with the Xbox. And Thump can tell you that story. Didn't I mail you video games I got for free when I ordered all that shit?
That was hilarious.
But if you remember, when the Xbox One dropped, the original Xbox One, or whatever the fuck it was, you had like 8 exclusives drop at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Rise, Sons of Rome, you had the new Forza, you had Battlefield, you had all sorts of shit dropping. So they pulled back the release on it also. They didn't want to compete with the exclusives because that game wasn't exclusive. It was going across all platforms.
Right.
It was multi-platform. Yeah.
That was going. Yeah, well. So I know they held it back for that, and I think they held it back for like 9 months.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't multi-platform. It was only Xbox One and Windows.
It was okay, all right. So they didn't want to compete with it.
Well, how would they compete with people who are playing on a different platform?
Well, no, it didn't compete with all the other exclusives. You had big name exclusives dropping.
Oh, I see.
Big name exclusives. You had a brand new Forza for the first time in 3 years. You had the
Mhm.
new Madden dropped. That if you bought it, you got a subscription to DirecTV fucking mobile, so you could
Mhm.
watch Sunday football. You had Rise Sons of Rome, which was an exclusive only to Microsoft. You had Forza game. You had Battlefield 4, I believe, at that time. And then,
Wasn't Rise PS4 exclusive?
no, Xbox. It was an Xbox game. I still have the box over here. That's why I kept it.
Rise,
'Cause,
Sons of Rome.
yeah, 'cause it's an
Son
exclusive.
of Rome.
Then what else? We had something else too.
It was a Xbox One day one.
Yeah, Xbox, right? Because we have the boxes that say day one on them.
Wow. Do you have a Series X?
I have them all. I
You
have
have the you have a Series X?
Yeah, I have every one made.
How
All
did you get it? Did you just pre-order?
Hello, eBay.
You got it on eBay?
$900.
Oh
Yeah, I was gonna
my
say he overpaid for it,
God.
guaranteed.
You overpaid.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
oh,
doesn't give a
oh.
shit.
No, I don't care. I overpaid for an Xbox 360. I paid $850 for an Xbox 360.
Oh my
Ask
God.
Thump what my serial number on my Xbox 360 is,
Oh, wait, hold on.
because he'll tell you. Absolutely will tell you that I have like one of the first 10 made. My Xbox 360 says it's made in Mexico. Go look at yours. Guarantee you it doesn't say that.
What does it say?
Mine says made in Mexico, serial number 00000010.
Yep.
I have the 10th Xbox ever made, Xbox 360 ever made.
In Mexico.
My Xbox One is the Project Scorpio. What was the other one we
Nice.
got that says the day one across the controller and on the fucking, that's the
Xbox
Scorpio, right?
One X day one.
Okay, that's the day one. So that's the first one, the Xbox day one, and then I got this Xbox Scorpio Project,
Right.
and now I have the fucking cheese grater.
Hmm.
Or the chimney.
Chimney, yeah, yeah, or my fucking magic box where I can float ping pong balls on it.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you can't do. I tried it.
Nope.
Hmm.
Ping pong balls too,
Ah.
baby.
Yeah, no, I have.
What have you found are the main differences between the Series X and the Xbox One X?
The speed, launch of games. Actually, it's actually quite worse because some of the people I play with or have played with are still on the original Xbox Ones,
Yeah.
and I will
Not
load
even the
into
One
a
X's.
game. I will load into a game, and I'll go to the bathroom, take a leak, come back down, get comfortable, and okay, cool, you're here now, finally. Okay, good. We can do the strike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm one of those people who are already a quarter of the way into the strike, stuck in an invisible wall while I wait for you to fucking load in back at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
From the home equipment I have, it's hands down better than any other Xbox. The everything that comes out of that Xbox to my 4K TV is outstanding in picture quality, to the point where I'd rather watch TV downstairs as late as possible than go up to my
Yeah, but there's no
bedroom.
pass-through TV on the Xbox anymore, so
Streaming,
and there's no One Guide anymore.
streaming content, but my streaming content looks better. Looks better than the fucking built-in streaming.
So watching
shit.
your Netflix and shit like
Yeah,
that.
my Netflix, my Hulu, the
Disney Plus, all
everything's-
that shit. Yeah. Got it.
every fucking thing I watch is Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. Now, my TV's for that, obviously, but the quality I'm getting out of that versus grabbing my TV remote and hitting the fucking Hulu button is way better. So whatever DACs or DACs for audio and digital conversions that are built into the Xbox are better than my $2,500 television.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Okay, that's on my honest opinion.
You know, I wish that somehow, somewhere down the line, Microsoft was able to deliver on the promise of the Kinect.
Yeah,
That was lost in the shuffle with the idea of virtual reality, which now has turned into augmented reality.
which is now in the
Yeah.
hands of the military.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's its basic purpose, except for unless you got a Oculus Rift, especially the two. By the way, I've actually physically used it. It's the one I recommended to people. Damn good.
Can I tell you how much I loved Dance Central
Sure, I still own them all, and
and
music.
Xbox Fitness. Oh
Xbox
my
was
god.
fun. The Olympic Games was no, it wasn't the Olympic Games. It was track and field. Was that track and field? No, that was Wii.
I was like,
No,
we track and field was dope.
Wii track
We
and field.
tennis was good.
Yeah, I hold the
it
record.
was like actual workouts though. It was like Insanity and P90X and there was some Julian Anderson stuff like
Yeah,
and it was just like now there I don't know how much a mirror is, like the mirror thing that like you work out in front of it and
Yeah.
it
make
like
sure all your
tracks your
positioning's
body.
right.
It did exactly that.
Right.
It was a bargain.
Yeah.
It was $600. You got a game console, you got a media player, you could do the pass through. So if you wanted to like watch cable on it, I guess you could.
Yep.
You could stream.
Yep.
And then you could also work out. Like it was so awesome, and I can't believe it didn't take off the way it should have.
I
It's
have.
a really interesting case study on doing the right marketing, actually.
I still have my Kinect hooked up to my. What's the last Xbox? Not the newest one. The one before that.
Series X. No,
The
Xbox
Series
One
X is the new one. The One X is that, and then there's a one
So
before
my
that.
One X, my One
Yeah.
X, I have the Kinect hooked up to.
So you bought the dongle.
Yeah, I
You bought the dongle. Okay.
Yeah, I finally found one aftermarket that wasn't all that highly priced.
Yeah, the dongle was a weird occasion. I got a buddy of
The
mine who
dongle
still
was weird.
has a Xbox with Connect on it, like OG.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
still have mine too. OJ, it's in the other room. There's what 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 Xbox
Variants in the house.
black ones in this house, and I think there's still 2 360s.
Yeah, I think we've got
Then
like
I
2 or
hooked up.
3 360s. We've got a couple
Trust me, I thought about hooking it up just to play
ones,
Beat
and then
Rock
I've
Band.
got a 1X in the living room currently.
I thought about hooking it up just to play Beatles Rock Band.
Lol.
Yeah, just
Oh, Beatles Rock Band.
fucking great game that was.
Yes.
You know when you mess up the notes, it kind of just mutes. It doesn't like in regular Rock Band where you get
Right.
like the wrong
You
note.
get
It's like
ba-dum.
yeah, like
Yep, but you could
Beatles
shut
Rock
that.
Band. Like
You could shut that on and off in any of the games.
Yeah, you could
well,
shut
yeah,
off. And,
but
you
in
could,
Beatles
but the
Rock
Beatles.
Band,
Yeah,
it's
Beatles Rock
not
Band
an
is not
option.
allowed.
No,
You can't turn
not
it
allowed.
on because you can't mess up the Beatles.
Couldn't use your little wah wah fucking slider on your guitar too in Beatles Rock Band.
Nope. No manipulation to the track. It had to be the track or not.
It's still a great game. Still a great game.
It's a love letter to the Beatles. Like you could definitely see they were like the respect. It's definitely
Well,
there.
they did a lot of work in building that game, but they
Mhm.
also were under a lot of pressure from the John Lennon camp, Beatles
His
estate.
son. Yeah, John
Yo-
Lennon's son.
Yoko Ono. Not even the son, Yoko Ono. She was the
Her, because
she's the
she
reason-
like owns the estate, but
She's the reason why there was Rock Band Beatles, and why it wasn't just DLC.
yeah,
She's the reason why.
Because it
And
had to be
she,
an independent entity. It couldn't.
it's,
It couldn't
yep,
be tethered into a system. It had to be its own.
yep. And she's also the reason why to this day you can't import it into any future generation version of Rock Band.
Which is
Yeah.
upsetting because Green Day was like, "Don't do it. Do it this way." Like they made
Yeah,
an independent game, but then it became DLC into the game. You can just go get it.
right.
Yeah.
Like Lego Rock Band or
Yeah, like
AC/DC Rock
AC/DC.
Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All,
Lego Rock.
Why I
that
bought
was
that
an
shit.
entertaining set list.
Sure, you got Drive by Incubus and fucking Ghostbusters by Billy Ray Cyrus or
That's
John
not
J.
correct.
Parker or Parker somebody. Somebody
And
said
also, and also the SpongeBob song.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
right.
day
You know I bought that? I own that. And we
That's
actually
the
sang that.
jam.
We actually sang that like 3 weeks ago here because this I'm gonna live stream it next time just because it's too fun.
Oh, jeez.
Funny. I do it from time to time. I cut a video. I grabbed somebody else's. What was he singing? Break? No, you don't understand when I'm tempting to explain. Limp Bizkit, rearranged. So this Indian dude is singing it in this karaoke machine. I found it on Facebook, and he was horribly bad. So we sang it one night, and I took the video that we cut and I overlaid it with his video, so it looked like we were either side by side or behind him. But I laid the vocal tracks perfectly,
Nice.
Yes.
so that this guy sounded 10 times better than he really was. It was pretty fucking funny. It was pretty fucking fun. We're Rock Band freaks. Always have been. Always will be. I'll play any of that.
Oh, love
Guitar
Rock Band.
Hero, fucking DJ Hero. I'll
I
play-
still got my DJ Hero
Me
turntable.
too. Sure.
I don't
that
have.
and
I don't think I have the game anymore, but I definitely still have the turntable.
I have both games, 1 and 2, plus whatever DLC. They're all on my 360 upstairs. I have all that shit still.
God, the fucking memory block for a 360.
The little card.
Oh my
No,
God.
the fucking block that came off
Oh.
the top of it.
Oh yeah, the hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here you
Yeah.
go. Here's your fucking memory.
it was nice at least when
Store
you
your
get that little.
games here.
I mean, when we came down to see you, I brought my music with me, right?
Yep.
Put it on a memory card. Here you go. These are the songs you don't have. Here they are now. Let's play them.
Yeah, the
Great.
USB
Oh
sticks
my
were always
God.
good to carry your music around on.
Shit, I still have all my shit. I have an Xbox memory sticks, like 32 gigs or some shit. Still got. If I leave this house, I can go anywhere and not have to worry. Don't have to fucking type shit in. Just put my USB in and
Yep.
poof.
Profile and
Mhm.
right attachments.
Yeah, the only thing I got to do is pull her profile off the other Xbox because she's yelling at me now. Every time we play, it's under yours. I'm like, well, you're on the old Xbox.
Yeah.
This is my Xbox.
Um, I'm just thinking back of like when I think it was still during the 360 era when like suddenly you had cloud storage.
Yes. Yeah. Your 512K of cloud storage.
And I was
Yeah.
like, what? What do you mean? I can
Alright,
just store
what-
my.
What do you mean I crashed during Minecraft and now I have to update my cloud? Oh my god. Update my cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft was
Yeah.
notorious for that shit.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. Especially when we were having all those fucking power hour Minecraft builds.
Oh my goodness.
You crash in that, and all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, you'd be like, "Can I get back in the game yet? It's my fucking world. I can't even get in it." Yeah, well, that was the
I've
beginning.
been locked out of my world.
Right, but if you also remember, that was also the beginning of Azure. You're going back.
Of what?
You're going back 12 years ago. That was the beginning of Microsoft Azure, their cloud system that
Yep.
they built from the ground up.
Oh
Xbox-
yeah.
Xbox was one of the first ones inside of that to play there. And to this day, we still haven't seen the power of it.
That's true. We still
xCloud
have not
xCloud
seen-
is on display though as some of
yeah.
the potential of where it really can be.
And on iOS, it looks pretty good because I've been playing fucking around on the iPad.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Looks good on my Pixel as well.
Mm-hmm. iPad's bigger screen, so it's good. You can play Forza better, especially once you tie your fucking controller to it.
Oh yeah.
But the latency's not bad at all.
I played like Sea of Thieves.
It has another one. It just had a big update, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they just started season 2.
Yeah. Big update.
Season 2. Wow.
Yeah. Which is a big update, season 2. Big time.
Yeah.
Fun game. I gotta get back into that myself.
I mean, I haven't been playing it lately. Like, I didn't do season 1 really. I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of see what this is and let the novelty of it kind of run its course, so I can see whether or not this is gonna be something that's worth putting a little bit of cash into. Because right now, you watch like the big time streamers that are doing Sea of Thieves. That's a threatening game to get involved in.
Like how? How is it threatening?
Well, I mean, these guys are out there server hopping.
Coming to get you. Just coming to get you.
They're
Steal
server
your-
hopping. Well, they just want to, like, if you're doing certain shit, everybody's coming to get you. Like, it's Jaws. Sea of Thieves is Jaws. You get into the water, there is going to be a shark that is ready to bite you. Like, you don't have to be doing something all the time. Like, I was hopping for a couple months. I just hopped into the game and was running these little, like, journal story mission type things. They don't really generate a lot of cash. They don't generate, like, too much XP towards any of the faction stuff. They just kind of tell you little stories. You get to ride around the map and, get into a little bit of combat and hear some more story. And it's all I was doing a couple months of that.
Wow.
Yelling over my fucking microphone and with my little fucking mouth cone up, screaming at people going, all I'm doing is running stories. There's no loot on this fucking boat. You're wasting your time. I'm not even fighting you. There goes another boat. They had to actually put protections in place so that you wouldn't lose items that were story relevant.
Oh, okay. So
Like-
because when you get looted, they take all your stuff.
When you get sunk, all of your stuff goes.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them wait
Oh.
around to take any treasure that you have.
Sure. Shoot you as you're drowning in the water.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it and so the streamers, they are good at it. They hop servers. They're really like they only go after the baddest of the bad is really kind of their goal now though. Like, but it limits a section of gameplay to like if you and your buddies are on doing some like, all right, we're gonna do some focus try hard stuff to get us some stuff done, and then streamer comes along, it's a wrap. In most cases, like because of hours these guys got in, you're just like you got to run when maybe one of them is not going to be running on main servers. But good luck on that. Like, there's a 24-hour cycle of Sea of Thieves streamers that all have a relatively sized community.
Yep. We
Yeah,
got
it's
big boy
insane. I love that
7.
game, but it's damn near impossible to, like, just go
Me and
and
Thump
play
ran it.
without
Oh.
having to PvP.
The last time me and Thump ran it together, it's like we had a couple hours. He's like, yo, come play Sea of Thieves with me. I'm like, fuck yeah. All right, cool. Let me just update the game I'm in. So I get in the fucking game and jump on a ship with him, and I'm trying to be his boy over there, bail water, make sure we've got food in here and wood over there and fucking cannonballs here. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, Thump, there's a fucking boat behind us. He's like, what? He's like, well, we got nothing on the boat, so that's a good thing. This fucking guy chased us halfway across the map.
Yeah. With
And
me
the map
dipping and
wasn't
diving.
even huge, but it was funny when I shot the dude with my gun right off the fucking boat.
Yep.
Oh
But yeah,
my
and it's,
God.
we weren't in the game like 6 minutes. Like, all right, what do you want to do? I'm gonna look at the map with you, and the boat's just fucking moving along.
Yeah, we're
on
just
its
kind of
own.
hanging out in the water. We're really not focused on doing anything. We're just getting into the game. We kind of
Yep.
grabbed a little bit of island stock to go on the adventure, whatever it was going to be. But
It was easily for the next 20 minutes we were chased across the map, easily,
yeah,
easily.
with nothing on the boat except for supplies, like food
Yeah.
and
No treasure, no nothing.
yeah, food and maybe a couple cannonballs.
Got in the game. I got six cannonballs in my backpack, and I've got this fish. I can fish for more. Well, let's put that in the refrigerator. Oh, I got 6 pieces of wood. What do you got?
Oh yeah, we spent several minutes with Webb just
minutes
fishing
is a
from the
coconut.
boat because it was a new thing he learned.
What do you got in your pockets? I got two bananas and a pineapple. We're good. We can set sail.
2 bananas and a
We can
pineapple.
set sail. We'll hit the first island and scavenge it. Okay.
Ain't
Done.
got it. Ain't got it.
One
Yeah,
fucking
and then
day.
we never got there, and it was just like, all right, and now we're running. Maybe this guy
Yeah.
will leave us alone if we just run away, and he never left us alone. It was literally 20 minutes of us just like, come on, man. There's
Fun
nothing
game.
on the boat. I mean, me literally yelling over the loudspeaker, like you've got
Yeah.
the little cone speaker, like it projects your voice further, and I'm like, dude, we just logged in. There's nothing on the boat.
You want our map? It's the same as yours. 8-Bit Bros Wednesday. A couple of things we didn't get to tonight. I really would like to discuss all the censorship shit going on across everywhere.
It
New
was
York
Stump's
Post,
unique way of
Press.
censoring web tonight.
Yeah. No, it's
Yep.
good. Good. It's fine. It's fine. I would like other people's opinions and thoughts on it, and I'm sure more will open up as the week goes on.
Oh, censorship.
Other thing. Oh, I'm sorry. That's journalism. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. The other things I wanted to discuss didn't get to was Apple Spring Day, and of course their Apple being under attack, being held for ransom for $50 million, and not believing those people who hacked their shit. Check it out on the internet right now if you want. Schematics for their next generation laptop just dropped. No more touch bar. Slew of ports.
1-900 number.
Slew of ports. No more one little port with a big fucking dongle. Slew of ports. Check it out. It's all over the internet. Yeah. Now see that I gotta press that button because that shit died, and I gotta do this over here. But we'll be back next
Next week.
week with Ren, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Well, I don't know. Did anybody know where he even went?
No, that was never discussed.
No.
Just out of town. See ya. Peace out, bitches. Just like we are right now.
Duke.